And Bo Nix, the Auburn quarterback, joins us this time each week, courtesy of RentalWorks, the division of CraneWorks that's got all the equipment you need for DIY projects, from chainsaws to skid steers to pressure washers to excavators. They have it all. Give them a call or visit craneworks.com for more info. Hey, Bo, what's up, man? How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Doing wonderful. Thanks a lot. Look, just as college football fans, we get fired up for this game. I can't imagine playing in it and going to a historic place like Happy Valley. How fired up are you?
Extremely happy and fired up. We're ready to go. Got a lot of guys who are going to experience their first game day trip, and so that's exciting for those guys. And then obviously got a few of us who have played in a few game days already. And so we know what it means. We know what it means for college football and what it means for the university, and we're excited to play in it.
Hey, going back to this past weekend, Demetrius Robertson, a guy that had a lot of expectation for him, the Georgia transfer, finally gets involved in week 2, and he made some big plays for you guys.
Yeah, he did. He really took advantage of those opportunities that he had, and he made explosive plays, and that's exactly what we needed. All 3 of his touchdowns came very close together. We kind of started a little slow, and then once he scored that first one, things started jumping from there, and so it was huge for the team and huge for Saturday.
Bo, listen, none of us have ever gone through a week where college game day is there. You've been through this before, so tell me, is there any extra, I don't know if you've talked to Kirk yet and the guys, but is there any extra media obligations on the quarterback when you've got the game day game? Do they come to town and do a lot of interviews with you? How does that work out for you?
Yes, sir. It's more than just your normal Saturday game, just because they have all the little excerpts in the game that they want to show and want to feature. But that's the exciting part, and I think that's the part that most people look forward to when they're the featured game on Saturday, is they get some more media attention, and as they're kind of the main attraction for that week. And our team deserves it, and I think that it'll be a fun atmosphere. Just from everything that I've seen, it'll be my first visit up there, but I have been able to experience some electric atmospheres down here in the South, but it'll be fun to go up there and to see what kind of history they have and the atmosphere that they present.
This past weekend, game day was in Ames for Iowa State and Iowa, and Tyler Goodson, running back for Iowa, said during the week, he was like, this benefits us. There's so much energy going on with the home team hosting game day. Do you think it does benefit the road team with game day being on campus at Penn State?
Well, I specifically have never played a home college game day, so I don't know from that side of things, but I do know that just from being the away team or a neutral team, there's really the only thing extra is just the few interviews that you have in the week, and then once you start to travel, it's just like a typical road game, just as far as stay and travel and bus rides and stuff like that. It's all the same once you get down to it, but I'm excited. And I think that, like he said, it is good for the program.
Auburn's Bo Nix joins us each week, courtesy of RentalWorks, a division of CraneWorks. It's their equipment rental division, and the source for all your equipment needs, big or small. You can forget the big box stores. Just go to RentalWorks. They've got reliable machines and local experts to help you find exactly what you need. CraneWorks.com, or call them to get a personalized quote from RentalWorks. To this date, what is the craziest, loudest atmosphere you've played in?
My freshman year when we went to Florida, it was the loudest that I've experienced. And that same year we played at LSU and A&M. So some great stadiums, some great venues, but Florida was incredible. Just from a college football fan growing up, that was one of the most fun experiences. Obviously the game didn't turn out how we had liked it, but the atmosphere was very fun, and it was what a kid like me dreams of when we grow up and playing in the backyard.
Can you practically, because we talk about how important home field advantage is, especially in college football, can you give me practical ways it affects you? I mean, as a quarterback, how does a loud, crazy environment like that affect the play of the game?
Well, the main thing is just when it gets loud enough to where your voice can't be heard and nobody else can be heard, it's just to where it gets so loud to where you just can't hear anything. And no matter, like, it can't even get louder because you just can't hear anything. So that just affects communication and especially on the field communication when you can't go up to someone's ear and speak to them and communicate with them. So it's definitely one of those things that only thing that can compare is experience. So unless you've played in it before, you can't really get ready for it or prepare for it. You can try your best with crowd noise during practice and other things, and listening to loud things while you're maybe just in your headphones while you're studying or something, but it's nothing like the actual experience of it.
Now, obviously, this week wasn't as clean for you and the offense as week one against Akron. As a competitor, as a guy before getting this big test at Penn State, are you sort of appreciative of maybe a few setbacks that wasn't perfect this week so that you maybe can refocus, recalibrate with the offense and going? Or would you have liked to have had a perfect game against Alabama State, too, like you did against Akron?
Oh, well, I think there's kind of two things to that. Obviously, every game you'd like to be perfect, but you also have to understand that not every game is going to be perfect. So we, as an offense, we set the standard high and we set the bar high for ourselves in week one with just how clean we played and the success we had and the drives that we scored back to back to back. And then to compare to last week where we kind of had a sluggish start, we moved the ball fine, but then we just killed ourselves in the red zone. And had to settle for some field goals, turn the ball over, had more penalties. And then we came back from it and had an explosive second half. So I think it was good to face some adversity and have to, fight through it and just stay focused and move through a sluggish start, just because obviously when you go to Penn State, it's not going to be perfect either. As you continue to go throughout the season, some home games aren't going to be perfect either. And so adversity is good, and I'm glad we hit it before we started in critical environments.
Hey, these numbers got brought up earlier in the show, and it's something you'll probably see on graphics that ESPN will run throughout the entire week leading up to College Game Day. At home, you've been incredible. 20 touchdowns, 1 pick. On the road, 9 touchdowns, 10 picks. Is that a little misleading?
Well, if you look at the road games that those numbers came from, it's at a top 10 Georgia team. It's at a top, I guess, 5 LSU team. Don't know exactly where they were ranked. They were 1 or 2 when we played them. It was at Florida. It was at A&M. So all these games that we talk about and discuss, they're misleading because at home we get to play some non-SEC teams, which is, I mean, if you look at college football, obviously everybody has better stats when they don't play in their league. So I would say they're a little misleading, but I mean, if you look at just the success that we've had at home versus away games, there is a drastic difference. And obviously we would love to fix those and correct those numbers as we move forward. Obviously you can't do anything going back, so you can only move forward and continue to critique yourself and play better when you have another opportunity to play on the road.
Bo Nix, presented by CraneWorks and RentalWorks, your number one source for crane and equipment rental. Bo, I've never coached a football game, but Jarquez Hunter is averaging 18 yards a carry. I'd give it to him every play if I were you. I would keep calling that play. Go to Jarquez Hunter.
Well, a 94-yard touchdown run really helps that average because it just lengthens the other ones. But, I mean, he has done really well the first 2 games. He's done everything we've asked of him so far, and he'll continue to get better. It's his first year in a new college system too, so he's just going to get better with the game plan and other things. But I expect he and Tank to both work with each other as we move forward, and the offensive line to continue to get better. The offensive line is just continuing to stack reps on reps and experiences together, and we have what's leading to a bunch of veteran guys up front. So that's going to help us a lot moving forward.
Listen, I always thought you would go to Auburn, but I'm interested because you were a highly sought-after quarterback. Did James Franklin and Penn State recruit you? Did you ever make an official visit or anything like that? Were there phone calls with the Penn State coach?
No, sir. Coach Franklin did not. But at the time, it was kind of my recruitment started a little fast, and kind of some teams down here that were already making a push or were ahead. And so I think that played a factor in it. But I'm sure if Coach Franklin and I would have reached out to one another, we would have enjoyed talking to one another and growing a relationship, because he's had some successful quarterbacks himself. And he just has always done a good job coaching, and he's had great success at Penn State.
Yeah, and Sean Clifford, one of those quarterbacks that he's got right now, a guy that's got a lot of experience. When you watch Sean on film, what kind of problems can he present for your defense?
Well, I really got to meet Sean for the first time this summer at the Manning Passing Academy. I know I've talked about that before, but that's the first time I've met him, and he seems like a great guy. And we discussed the game a little bit and how fun it was going to be for the both of us. And so I think if you look at a guy like him, his experience will play a great role in this game. And just anytime you face a quarterback with experience, they've been there and done that, and they've been in great environments themselves. And so it'll be fun for him as it is for me, and he'll present a challenge.
Did y'all make a little friendly wager, like he sends you some Penn State ice cream, you send in some Acre, wings or something? Is there a little friendly wager on the game?
No, there's not. It's just kind of, I guess, bragging rights that are like undiscussed.
What happened to the flag? You had the flag in the background before. What'd you do?
Yeah, you need some art.
Yeah, did we lower the flag?
Well, yeah, it's just easier for setup when it's not there.
Okay. All right. We liked it.
We'll
got some compliments.
We'll send you a big next round logo if you want.
Right. Yeah, we can get a logo on the wall if you're cool
There
with
you
that.
go.
All right. Bo, thank you. Enjoy the time, man. Have a great trip. Look forward to watching the game.
Of course. Thank you, guys. War Eagle.
All right, buddy. Take care. That is Bo Nix with us, and he joins us each week on the Pepsi Hotline, and he does so courtesy of CraneWorks and RentalWorks. Listen, whether you have an at-home project coming up or a corporate construction job, RentalWorks and CraneWorks can help you. RentalWorks is a division of CraneWorks. They've got everything from landscaping equipment to excavators. Check out their full fleet, craneworks.com. RentalWorks is the way to go. Don't go buy the machinery. Just rent it from RentalWorks. You can see more at craneworks.com.